So this was Jenn's. I'm sure you have some version of this, but let's go to the joint, right, what you guys want to do. So from a company partnership, right, so this is different, it's a business partnership. So you're right now still sole proprietor
Until today.
until today.
I'm not on it.
And
It matters.
do you turn those up? How are you handling, have you made any money together?
Yes.
So how are you handling banking?
Yeah, so we're just 100% transparent and we'll just fix it all later. So I just, so right now, last year.
By the way, that does happen,
Yes, so we're just gonna be transparent and we'll fix it later.
but who's taking the money right now?
I am. And so then I 1099'd him last year and then right now we're paying payroll. It's under my, I did an EIN under my social though. So our company has, yes, I'm here to pick.
I just want to layer the problems in that scenario.
Okay, layer the problems, we're good.
Do you guys want to participate? You want to see how financially, like you're a smart group.
Yeah,
What
so
are the
we
problems
do.
in this model?
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Who gets to take more expenses?
I do, of course, and we don't like that. No, we don't like that. He certainly doesn't like that, yes, no.
Yeah.
Because he's technically 1099.
I mean, they're both in the same weird situation.
Yes.
I mean, they're sole prop to 1099.
Yeah.
So Carson's on a Schedule C, which gives him, my joke's like 20 deductions, not 8,
Yeah.
So it's a very limited deduction schedule. You get a little bit more benefit because you do have the EIN,
Yeah.
not that much.
Not much, yeah.
But
Still Schedule C.
if you wanted to really be mean and pissed off, you could, you've got a lot to take. I just want to. Sure.
No, so he came in January and he's like, we're not making any decisions about our business until I can come back and see you. So that's why we're here. So he came in January and he's like, I'm not making decisions until you get in front of the room. And so here we are to make these. So we've known this has been our thing until we can connect with you
Yeah,
guys.
it's pretty rare when people come and say, I have to have a makeover now. So they register. Okay, so you've made the money. How much did you guys make? What was your?
So just shy of 100,000 we've generated
together. And
Since
that money
January.
is in a separate bank account.
Correct. We do have our own bank account for our company.
Okay.
We have our own business credit card with our company.
Okay. And
That's
you
the
have
one.
the card.
Yes, we do. And that's the one that has about a $10,000 balance on it right now.
Okay, so
That I
that's
put down
really-
there. I put it down there. That $10,000.
That's not yours.
Correct. Okay. Thank you. So that yeah.
Okay. And you just put in a simple bank account, credit
Yes.
card, debit cards.
Yes,
et
but
cetera.
we do everything on the card so I can track it for expenses and get the points.
Yep. Okay. And then what are your expenses?
Just shy of $100,000.
All right. And let's just go. So do you have a website
Yes.
and it's converting?
Fully branded,
working?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And who owns the URL?
I guess me. Don't know.
Okay, who set it up?
It's under her account.
It's under my account. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't even. We pay for it with the business card. But again, this is just knowledge we didn't
No,
know.
no, I just.
Yep.
Thanks. Who
Yep.
owns the database? Are you starting to sweat over here?
No, I knew all of this.
You knew all this?
I'm not sweating. We're gonna fix it today. So I'm
So,
okay with it.
what do you use for database? Infusionsoft?
Well, no, we have Kajabi and ClickBones.
Okay. And what other technology? Do you have QuickBooks?
Yeah, we have QuickBooks. We have GoToWebinar. We have WordPress, which is where our website is. Zoom. Yep, everything's Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, good. What other assets?
So it's all paid for by the company card
Oh, that's cool.
that I own.
But whoever initiated the ownership owns the asset.
Got it. Okay.
So you real estate people, we even go further. Who owns the PO box? Especially if you're in a cash rent position. I've watched the worst divorces where then I have business and I own these and you own the PO box, and where do the cash flow checks go? Do you think after 22 years we haven't seen it all?
Yeah.
We have seen the best and the worst of businesses form. So, and I'm not over exaggerating, I'm kind of a problem with you, but this is serious stuff.
It's very serious.
Very
yeah.
serious stuff. It isn't serious
This
now.
is exactly why the last business partnership that I had that I left, I got nothing, and she just
Well, and when
took
you're not
everything.
doing this, it's not as urgent. When this number becomes,
correct.
right?
Correct.
And then he gets engaged and she don't like you and your husband's pissed off because you're working too much, then we have all sorts of issues.
Yes.
Mine just cashed out.
Correct.
Nobody's ever seen those happen ever, right?
People.
It's true. Okay, what else? So do you have any, so these are your assets, by the way. I put them up here
Oh,
because
okay.
we're going to do something with them.
Okay.
Any other assets just to speak of? Real estate, put money away into a different account, nothing? Any liabilities besides the 10,000? 10,000 on a card, do you owe anybody else?
Yeah, well, so I put it over there, so again, I put it over there, so there's $14,000 that we owe in June,
For what?
to finish my trainer. So we've already sold, into the NLPICF, Energy Work program, which is
Okay.
paying for that program, but that just hasn't been.
But the company's paying?
Correct.
And
Oh,
are you
yes.
equally paying for your certifications and all the things
Yes.
you're getting?
Yeah, so I have all the ICF certifications that I paid for, and then she has the NLP certifications.
Okay, but the company paid, so you're fair and all of that?
Yes.
There's no weird
Yes.
stuff about that? Okay, so pretty clean, it's
Yep.
good, right? You got
It's
new
so
assets.
new.
What?
That's why it's new.
Yeah,
We haven't
it's
had too
good.
much time to get in trouble.
And then what do you guys want? That's fine.
So by the end of the year, we want to have $1 million.
So your income, gross,
Yeah.
top
Yes,
line,
And
yes.
then each take home 250.
and then you want 250 each,
Mhm.
and 500 are in the company,
Yes.
okay? And do you want to put some of this away into investments together?
Yes.
So you lose some cool stuff together?
Yes.
In
yes.
addition to taking whatever home to your family?
Yes, yes,
Right? So then there will
Yes.
be, I'm just going to call it a wealth account for easy terms.
Yes.
Right? So that's an undisclosed amount. You've got to decide how much you want to put away.
correct.
Okay? That way you can do some joint assets.
Mhm.
Okay? What else do you guys want? I'm sure there's going to be intellectual property over here.
Yes.
How are you guys going to handle that? You're going to jointly, why are you laughing?
Because we got completely screwed over by intellectual property the last company.
Yeah,
Because it was yours.
yeah, but we worked for him and so.
But so it was a work for hire, which means you can't take it. So by law, the rules on that change to 21%, and now it's yours.
So all the words that just came out of your mouth didn't make sense. I'm very excited to learn that again. I'm all good. It's all good. I don't have to understand it, right? I was just like, I was like, yes.
So
1,000 times
IP
yes.
by law
Uh-huh.
is 20, so I say take it to 21%
Mhm.
change, right, the delta,
Got it.
and it is now yours. So do you think I
Got it.
made them how to be a millionaire?
Now I got it. Thank you for
I
that.
did not make up how to be a millionaire. There have been millionaires documented for generations. I think that I made it a little different because I added sequencing to it,
Correct.
right? So when you add your own flavor to a body of work, at 21% is now yours, including my own. I'll give you a little story, right? So these are owned by my publishers, right? We're in co-ownership of these. So for me to get my own book back, right, I'm additive. So you'll be seeing The Millionaire Maker relaunched in version 2 with a whole bunch of success stories and updates, because when I wrote the books, there wasn't such a thing as cannabis legal and CBD and crypto. So I'm going to add asset classes and add success stories. 21%. So for example, if my book's 100 pages, I have to do 121 pages. And now I have a new book, a new ownership. So, I mean, there are people in the world. So the fidget spinner, just, I know it's a little tangent, but this is like teaching you, this is so critical. The little fidget spinner, do you know that was created in the 1980s? You know that little stupid thing that has now become a $1 billion little toy? It was created in the 80s, but the family didn't know what to do with it, right? Typical invention kind of a thing. Got the patent, and there are people who really follow trademarks and patents, and as soon as they expire, they acquire. Right? It happened in Napoleon Hill. It has happened to so many people. Zig Ziglar, right? And I know them, so I like, Tom, Julie, save your dad's work. So they just let it expire. And again, if legacy stuff happens like that and nobody pays attention, I guarantee somebody's watching this, right? The minute we miss a day, someone's going to pick it up and then charge a fortune for it. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the rules of the game. So you really want to pay attention to the dates. Like one of our really good friends just passed away, and he owns this cool thing that Harley actually pays a royalty. It's called Kickstand Caddy. It's a very, because the kickstands on Harley, especially big Harleys, are not that strong, and bikes can fall over. So he's one of our big table guys. He passed away, and one of the first things I told, like Damon and I were looking through all his stuff, I said, you got to find that patent. And his family needs to know that that patent needs to be renewed, it's very, very valuable, right? Especially if you monetize stuff. But anyway, fidget spinner, dropped off the patent. Somebody else picked it up that knew how to market and do like the QVC kind of HSN, whatever, however, the infomercial thing. And that thing has made that family millions, and the family that originated, nothing. So this is like a business to itself. There's people who just buy and sell URLs. So be careful when you just spout out URLs casually that are really, really good, because somebody's going to grab them and then charge you later for your idea. So a lot of this stuff you guys do casually. Now, I don't want you to go to the other side and say, oh my God, I can't tell you anything else, you sign an NDA. Don't be weird about that stuff. Like in this community, I mean, we don't know you all yet, but I mean, so once you get in, we don't have time to rip off your stuff. Are you kidding? We're too busy doing cool stuff. Like, that's just bad energy. So to your point, get your own IP back. So it just has to be.
Ours is way better, it's back. It's back.
I just give more.
It's back and more and way better.
Yeah.
And we thank him for being him.
Okay,
So
cool.
we can do better.
All right, so it's kind of, yeah, thanks for the original work, and I'm gonna add a bunch of cool stuff to it, and have new work.
Yes.
All right?
So we're good
That's
there.
practice.
Yeah. All right, so you guys good?
It made him $1.5 million, so it should make us more.
So, where's Scott? We need Scott on this one. You guys wanna grab Scott? And then the other thing too, I'm just gonna put it up here, but we don't probably need everyone to come take the stage, or other things like your wealth account
Yes.
is, he'll talk to you guys about setting up a 401k for the company,
Yes.
right? So this is a company one. So you're gonna do your own for your family.
Right.
And then, sorry, that's 401k, but he'll tell you if the Roth or whatever you want you to do.
Okay.
But qualified money, again, is very protected money.
Okay.
Right, so in your wealth account, you put money that's cash, and then money into qualified. Okay? Now, as far as the entity, Scott might have a different idea, but I'm gonna start. So since you guys, yeah,
Just a question about 401k for the company.
for the
So
company,
Will that benefit?
them. And if they choose to have any employees in the future, then they'll have an employee benefit plan. They can do it that way.
So they're drawing the 250,000 each.
Well, that's what we're gonna talk about, because this is a lot of money, and if you pay yourself a W-2, you just killed yourselves.
Correct.
Correct? So how I think, and I'll have Scott validate, so, or change our minds, is I would have Jenn, you're California too, Carson? Okay. Right, so probably, why
Do
you
you all want us to move? Is that what I got?
I do, I mean, I live in the state line, like, I just walked across the line, like that, and I was about it, I bring taxation.
That's what my family was.
Well, and you can actually use Scott and my, or my address, which ones, we are in Zephyr cool headquarters, and you can use our office. And we do a lease right there. And then people say, well, why are you in that? I said, well, I got all the people out, I have a sublease. Yes. So that all comes along with your entities though, especially in California. So, I mean, it comes with any of you guys, but, I mean, I've been a Nevada resident for a very long time. So, tell me how you would like to do this, just how I'm going to do it. I'll start and then you add, and you're of course correcting me, but this is their goal, they want $1 million gross, 250 each to take out. So I'm thinking California, right? Each, right? And then you do, what's the name of your company?
Genius Unlocked Coaching Institute. GU is fine. Coaching Institute. CI. Yeah, CI. Close enough.
Yeah.
Coaching Institute. There we go.
That whole thing you just said?
Yes. Okay, I got it. You're like, wait, what? Yeah. Genius Unlocked Coaching Institute. Uh-huh.
Because do you actually perform in California?
Yes.
They come to a room.
You
You have a new conference facility available
Yes.
Yes, so right now,
In-
yes,
in the Reno,
all of
Nevada.
our
with your new
stuff,
address.
got it. We might be moving our NLP training in September to Nevada, not California. Right now, we're San Diego Bay Area.
So it's currently sole prop, correct?
Right, we're so
Or
proud.
a partnership, if you will?
No, we're so
No,
proud.
yeah, so right now, she's taking all the money and paying into 1099.
Okay.
So she's getting the tax benefit more than he is. She owns all the URL currently in her name, so this needs to get in here.
Yes.
Or, well, let's be honest, it needs to probably get over here.
Yes, this
So-
would, yes.
But I don't want to expense the hell out of them too soon. So,
So LLC in Nevada, two S corps that would own the membership interest,
and then Nevada C for the
and
assets.
then a Nevada.
This is your
C.
ultimate world. Did you see how quickly that happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is why I'm
Her
here.
little head spinning going. Okay, so, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot to set. So if you were gonna say set 1 and set 2, you're gonna have to
So-
set 3. You're each
So,
gonna need one.
yes, step one,
Yeah, this is step 1.
Okay,
And for now, you could, I mean, you can do it 20, well, come to step 2. So this is step 1,
Okay.
and this is step 2.
Okay.
Ideally, you're on this runway, you'll get it
Yes.
done by the end of the year.
What's the essence?
So
escorts.
This is like escort.
Escort.
And the reason, and then what you're gonna do is, your 2 companies are gonna be contracted, okay, with the circles of contract, to work for this company. Right? So, right? So this you're gonna work for each other. So where your 250 is gonna come back to is an escort, and your 250 is coming to an escort, because now you get full,
This is why.
because then they get full deductions upon a divorce, because you will have a divorce. Let's not be Fantasy Island, right? We're gonna be together forever. No, you're not. You will have different partners, and I know that seems weird. So we're gonna plan for a divorce. We actually have a slide that says design your divorce while you're in love. You're in love. Now, once we have a divorce, we're gonna set all this up, and brilliant one over there is gonna do buy-sell agreements, all sorts of interesting bylaws, make this thing legal, planning for a divorce. So when that happens, your families don't get murdered. Meaning, not like murder, but like,
Yes.
well, we heard about, so. Kidding. So that way, this company, which is really you, your family, can
Yes.
decide how it wants to expense and do deductions. Like, you can decide if you want a Maserati, and maybe you want, like I do, a Rubicon Jeep, right? So believe me, I've had partners like Bob Proctor, who likes, you know, Rolls Royces and Bentleys, and I like Jeeps. So I'm not want our company to have to, and then here's the difference, I fly private, they fly commercial. You don't put that on the company expense, you put your personal benefit, but you put that crap over here. Unless you fly together, Southwest, then have the company pay for it. Or you'll figure out, he's got genius team behind him that will help sort out the bookkeeping and how you expense. But for the most part, the healthiest relationships that I've had, we all kind of work that way, is I do my world my way, flying, traveling, eating, kids, right? I put business trips on more than most, safaris and stuff like that. While the rest of the gang goes home, right? So you don't want that to be burdened by that. And the other side, you chime in anytime you want, is if you ever want to sell this, you want it to be pretty pure business, right? Because you can really write through a lot of your own, right, expenses, like I write through my wardrobe. I can guarantee you, if I have a partner over here, they don't care about my wardrobe,
Right.
but I do, right? And I'm not going to sell these. This is you getting legal deductions out of your life because you got to, and this stays pure upon a sale. It's just, this was pure business. It didn't have vehicles. It didn't have your kids working for the company and all that. That all comes over here, right? So it's just a pure business. It's easy to look at accounting and say, this is what they made. That was true business expense. Got it. Easier to sell. Otherwise, what's forensic accounting usually is to untangle something where you put all of this in here, 20, 40, 50,000.
40
Yeah.
grand, yeah.
That
A
makes
lot,
sense.
because you have to dissect the whole thing and say what was really real here, right? So this is cleaner,
Okay.
and then a buy-sell, anything happens, you value the company and, right?
Right.
What else would you do? And we're not giving you advice, we're just telling you how
We're
we
having
do
a
it,
conversation.
how we've done it, how we do it,
Yes.
how
An
it
idea
works.
to consider might be.
Right?
An idea to consider might be.
Exactly, an idea to consider might be. Okay, this is phase 1. But here's what's gonna happen. This one is the one that does, like, what's your biggest liability for all of us in the world?
Taxes.
No. Oh, no, I wish. That's easy. Another human.
I was gonna say volunteer.
Litigation.
So people who follow trends,
Yeah.
right? So who are your biggest are your
Clients.
clients,
Got it.
right? And how they misbehave or behave or do whatever they want to do. So you don't want assets, right, long-term inside what we are going to call your liability operational machine. You want them to come over here, and so then you start, these are your assets, they start moving this way, and the liability of contracts with your clients, although they sound like they're assets, they're actually are your highest exposure. So then, long-term, you keep this. Now, does this have to have an agreement back with here? Yes,
Yeah,
right?
makes sense,
Because
yeah.
your assets are combined.
Right.
You want to say, like, who's going to own the URL? Normally, you value it again, and one of you would buy it. You would value the database and the monetization, and you'd buy it. You could keep IP separate, but you'd have contracts back here. What else would you add in here?
No, that covers it. Is the licensing rights back to the
Oh, and I
owner?
gotta just, this thing will become one of your greatest assets, and then I will teach you to monetize.
Good. That's what.
Enormous. Do you think that we're not looking at that monetization of the black hole?
Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Like, what's possible, how much merchandise, how many casinos, how many restaurants, how much, one of the biggest wine groups we're talking to this afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they want to put their label on, they want to put the black hole label on their wine. We already got the Constellation, we're already sponsored by Corona. So now we want a wine and a hard liquor and whatever else you do at tailgate parties. We need a pizza place, my point is, it's a database. You can say, ching, you got 100,000 people on average, they spend 20,000 a year with us. That's a big database. This is your valuation mark in today's world. You all know that monetized databases, I mean, why did LinkedIn sell for so much? Why did all those databases sell? So this is not casually built. What else would you do, sir? And then Edwin will set up some 401ks and solos, plus within your family. You'll set up your own wealth account, make some decisions.
And then the cash flow and the marketing and
Just get going. Yep. The only other thing, what would you think? Maybe over here, take a tiny W-2. Like I take a tiny W-2.
Yeah.
Because it does give you, if you take a little tiny W-2, like $24,000 each on a W-2 this way, right? That gives you officer and director benefits, because employee benefits is a whole tax code by itself. And you'll miss some of those if you're not an employee. But you don't want 250 W-2.
Yeah.
You want a tiny bit W-2.
So you can be an employee
And a consultant.
Yeah.
And then, to go to the kid thing, so when we say set up the LLCs and the stuff for the kids, is that in the S corp?
It's not in,
It's
separate.
completely 100% separate.
Yeah, but you don't stack, we're not stackers. There's companies who, they encourage you stacking your company, yeah, like a
Yeah.
pair, no.
Yeah.
You get something down here, the whole house of cards falls apart. That's crazy stuff.
Okay, so those are just totally,
Totally
completely
separate.
separate.
Yeah, now let's just say your 16-year-old legitimately wants to work for the company, and you want to legitimately give her a payroll because it helps with the corporate credit, and she's legitimately working here, not for mom, then you pay her out of here on a little W-2. But for your kids, it is good to W-2 them for that credit mark. When they're above 14, having a little W-2 here and there helps them get their little credit marks. So when they're 18, they kind of roll out a little better.
So we have an app idea, would that be its own business? Or would that be?
Depends how big it gets. I'd start it probably, in this category, and if it rolls out to be something bigger, then you do another one with another company. Yeah.
That'll get us.
And then a retreat center, so would we set up another LLC to buy?
Oh, gosh, yes. That's a real estate company. And then this company would actually go do business inside that real estate company. So this right here, maybe your wealth account, that's what this is for. Maybe you put a little bit of money or however much away. So you put it away knowing you're going to do the real estate to go do the retreat center. In Nevada. Tahoe's a great place.
Yes.
Just saying.
I don't
And it's in
know.
Nevada.
No, Idaho.
You do Idaho.
My husband wants to not retire in Idaho. He's got about 6 years, he has 6 years left, and then he's like, I want to go to Idaho and build a huge house. And I'm like, oh, great, a retreat center in Idaho.
Yeah, and there's some people inside our community, if you're serious about that pasture. Well, I know like like Lecter family, Jenn, right, George Jenn. She and her husband have a beautiful ranch in northern Arizona. If you want to wait, you could start using, and then I have another guy in northern, just north of Albuquerque, he's got a beautiful retreat. There's probably about 8 or 10 in our community already where they have them, and they're looking for people to come bring their workshops to them as a way to get that model working. And then as you put enough money away, you have a real estate company go buy your retreat center, and then it's going to lease it back, right? This company's going to come in and lease.
Because we're just paying VRBO right now.
Yeah, but that should be an expense out here.
Yes, it is. Well, because that's not set up yet, but that's what we're using it for right now.
What else would you do, boss of us?
Anything else you need to know about what we do to support that, or you know enough?
You're just going to go over and make some money.
Yeah, that's all we
I think we
do.
should start there, if that's.
This is a lot.
Yeah, I'm just like,
This is a lot. I know, this looks, but there's a whole system.
it makes sense, but
behind
see, the
it.
good thing is that it makes sense. Like, I completely see what you're doing, and I see this piece. Some of the stuff was a little scary because we weren't aware, so I love the awareness piece of it.
Well, and you're not screwing yourself out. And there's a divorce out of here that you can, instead of one person getting pissed and taking the money or doing something weird, it's just like, this is what we agreed to do.
Right.
Remember when we were in live? And some people go as far as actually verbally, have you done that yet? For a few people, I have verbally record the conversation. My understanding is on recording.
Yeah.
Then, right, the voices are different, the tone's different, the love is there. And you'll be with legal mediators in different rooms. The other thing though is, I mean, like, once it's set, then like this business card, since it's under yours, you're probably gonna have to close it down.
Sure.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
that, right? We'd have to
Whatever,
close
yeah.
anything under your social,
That's fine.
reopen up here appropriately, cards. And the cards is the way to keep it all clean and easy. It's just easy accounting for a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
It's just use the card in the right company. So you might go to Costco before you run to the VRBO,
Yep.
and then you forget something, Carson has to go. If you use your own cards, the corporate card, it's fine, you're gonna be checking out, because you gotta think, which company legally needs this deduction, right? So that's just behavior stuff that'll come over time, and then you'll call.
Is it, who do I have on speed dial at the Costco checkout? It's not. What card am I using? I'm like, I don't understand.
And then if you're in the wine club, then that's easy, you're gonna get money for giving your
Clients,
a
wine.
tasting, and then you get a check back in the company later. See, stuff like that, let's just say they did that, because you asked me about how MLMs work. Let's just say they did that one, or you did some CBD. If you're both in agreement, then park that kind of stuff like in here, that's not like they.
Yeah, I have residual income from my, so that'll be a question. Maybe I should have said that down there. I get a little bit, I forgot, I do have a little bit more income, it's not very much at all, from my last MLM that I
So
was
you can throw
in.
that in here now,
So I can throw that in there.
because
Okay,
that has
makes
nothing to do,
sense.
like, that's easy
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm just like, what do I do with this money? And it just sits in its own account. It's
Throw it in there.
residual income. Okay, cool.
Those are just little things.
Little,
I mean, it's
yeah.
gonna be
Little,
like
little.
the app, unless it becomes a big thing,
Oh, it
it's
will.
fine to just sit there,
Oh, no, it's gonna be
right? For
big.
now, because you guys transfer it.
We want to, that's what we
All
want.
right, so you guys going to finally do this big table that we've been waiting for 120 days?
Figure it out.
We got to figure it out.
I'm talking to Jody right after this,
Okay.
and
We're going to figure it out.
Okay,
Figure it out. It has to all come from here. My level 4's down here. We got to figure out how we're going to do it up here.
or you have credit down there, and you could do it on your card and charge the company 10%.
Yeah. Company.
And then in 100 days, or in,
Yeah, whatever you just said, that sounded cool.
is that where you go? Because
Because that's the thing, it's the-
funding's gonna take you another month.
Right, it's the
So if
opening
you
of the
have it-
possibilities.
You're going to give 25,000 on a line of credit, and you get 10% annually until you get funded, and then those cards for the company can pay back that, and then you're paid back. But that way you move today.
how we show that it's no risk to her husband.
Yeah.
Prom note.
Okay, so whoever's going to be talking to us about that, can you remember that?
You're gonna put it on a prom note.
Ryan
and you-
or Scott.
Here's the thing, because it's you, it'd be different if it was, because you already have the assets.
Right.
So you already have the security,
Mhm.
right? If it doesn't get paid back. You have the asset, really. And Scott will help you, or everyone will help you. So you just do a prom note to show the hubby. That's all good. And it's no money.
Yeah,
He's
that's
gonna
why I
make a little money. He's gonna make a little money on the deal. You'll appreciate that. Remember that NLP thing we're talking about?
Yeah.
So then, catch up.
Yeah. Catching up, I'll catch you up, honey, don't worry. How's it going? I'm just catching up. You take care of my little one. He's supposed to be here, but my little one was sick. The universe is amazing. I'm glad he's not sitting right here right now.
He could be having a heart attack.
Oh, I wouldn't be sitting up here if he was sitting out there.
Oh, yeah, you would. It'd just be a little war out there.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that's a good thing. No, that's-
All right, questions, you guys good? Was this helpful? You guys
Okay,
getting it?
questions.
How critical some of this stuff is? You guys set up partnerships like the water, like, this is important
No, this is
stuff.
amazing. This is why we've been sitting here, was until we had this conversation. Could you imagine, like, what would have happened if we would have showed up with some weird random thing? We just had to undo it and.
It would have cost you more money. See, that's the problem. Some of you are like, I gotta wait. The longer you wait, the more weird things you do, the more expensive it is to fix your mess.
That's,
All right, you can come back and get this when y'all signed up. So here's the new thing. The answer is yes. Oh, by the way, you get all this stuff.
Okay.
Your girls get paid when they play this. And then, so it's say yes, and then you're gonna figure it out. It's not, I gotta figure it out and then say yes. You gotta get your decisions in the right order.
We're gonna figure it out.
okay, yes, we're gonna figure it out.
Okay. And go back and talk.
And
to them.
yeah, we talked to him.
Well, now you're gonna sign a contract, and then you're locked. And then you're gonna sign a prom note.
Okay, we figure it out.
Do you love the house?
No, I don't, I just have credit.
Do you have, like, savings, any other stuff put away?
I have a 401k, 10,000 in savings,
Remember, that's a huge line of decision-making for all of you. You're gonna shortcut your businesses so much by making what I call short, decided decisions, because the bank account isn't there, versus you're gonna get motivated, like, we gotta pay this back, right? And now I'll get back, let's go get our $1 million we just committed to the entirety on what we're gonna go do. So
Oh,
let's
yeah, I
get
forgot
to
we were on
it.
TV.
And we already linked your husband in, he's good. Kidding, they're
That's
mad.
hilarious.
All right.